Ex-racist people, what changed your views? I didn't realize I was racist until 4th grade. Growing up, my parents were openly prejudiced. They hated black people, especially black women. They'd watch tennis matches and talk about Venus and Serena Williams like they were the embodiment of everything they despised. I absorbed it without question because that's what kids do. They echo the world they see at home. The moment everything changed for me happened during a group project. Our assignment was to give a presentation to the class, and my group consisted of me and 2 black girls, Jasmine and Monique. At first, I didn't think much of it. I was just worried about not messing up the presentation. But as we started preparing, I began noticing something. Jasmine and Monique understood the material quickly and could explain it clearly, breaking down complex points in ways that were effortless. I, on the other hand, was fumbling with the notes and stumbling over sentences. The day of the presentation arrived. I can still see it vividly, the fluorescent lights of the classroom, the hum of the ceiling fans, and the faces of my classmates blurred as I watched Jasmine start speaking. She was poised, confident, and articulate. Monique jumped in seamlessly, clarifying points and giving examples that made everyone in the room nod and take notice. Meanwhile, I was just standing there, holding my notes and trying not to trip over my own words. And then it hit me. There was this fleeting moment where everything else faded. The classroom, the chatter, even my nervousness. All I could see was my groupmates talking, and a thought crystallized in my head: my parents were wrong. It was like a switch flipped. Everything they had taught me about black people being less capable, less intelligent, less deserving of respect, evaporated in that instant. Jasmine and Monique were just as good, if not better, than I was at everything that mattered for that presentation. I still remember the rush of conflicting feelings. Shame, guilt, relief, and all rolled into one. I realized I had spent years parroting my parents' opinions without questioning them, saying things that now made me cringe. I had repeated the insults and biases I'd overheard at home or from relatives. I had unknowingly carried their bigotry like a badge, thinking it was normal, thinking it was right. Seeing Jasmine and Monique in action shattered that illusion in a way that nothing my parents could say ever would. Over the years, that memory became a touchstone for me. Anytime I heard a racist remark from family or strangers, I remembered that classroom moment. I got into trouble multiple times for arguing with relatives who used the N-word or for being upset when they locked doors as black people walked by. I didn't always win those arguments, but I knew I was on the right side. That lesson from 4th grade, the undeniable proof that my parents' worldview was wrong, was more powerful than anything else I had learned at home. It also taught me something fundamental about combating racism. The most effective way isn't lectures, isn't debates, and isn't banning words. It's shared experiences. Being in the same room, working together, understanding each other, it erases the sense of otherness that fuels prejudice. When you see someone's intelligence, kindness, or competence firsthand, all the abstract stereotypes fall apart. Jasmine and Monique didn't argue with me about race or morality. They didn't even try. They just existed, and in doing so, they quietly dismantled the biases I'd grown up with. The internet and social media make it harder now. People can hide in their corners, reinforcing their biases with curated content and echo chambers. But that 4th grade project remains one of the most important experiences of my life. It forced me to see people for who they really are rather than the distorted lens of my upbringing. It made me question everything I had been taught and ultimately reject it. Even decades later, nothing has erased that lesson. I've made mistakes along the way, sure, but that classroom, standing there with Jasmine and Monique speaking so clearly and confidently, is etched into my memory as the moment I truly understood equality. It's the moment I realized that the world my parents believed in, the one full of hatred, suspicion, and hierarchy based on race, was not real. That lesson has carried me through my life, guiding my choices, my friendships, and my understanding of the world.